This is Global Challenges, where an inspirational leader known as Ghandi is preaching peaceful coexistence between man and monsoon. And South Africa's experiments in sustainable development are struggling to avoid the scrap heap.
Hello and welcome to Global Challenges, coming to you from New Delhi. Although it may not seem like it today, this is the monsoon season, and this year it's been a plentiful one. Each year around this time for a few months, the skies open up, nourishing the land and feeding the rivers. But soon enough, the rain will seem like an illusion. The hot sun will come out and dry up one of life's most precious resources.
Under a blazing sun and with just their bare hands, these volunteers work to shore up a small earthen dam known as a Johad. The dam stores the most precious commodity in India's western Rajasthan state, water. Rajasthan is India's driest state. Some 20 years ago, this area suffered persistent drought. Many gave up farming and migrated to the cities. But the people of Gopalpura village began a movement to build and renovate these simple crescent-shaped dams and conserve the monsoon rains. The idea caught on, and people in this region have since built more than 7,500 Johars to store as much water as possible. As water collects behind these dams, nature takes over. The stored water slowly seeps into the soil, replenishing the groundwater underneath. Wells that were once dry fill up again. The water stored behind these dams is also slowly released into fields, raising crop yields several-fold. It's called rainwater harvesting. Once, these people had barely enough water to drink or bathe in. Now, without any help or funding from the government, rural life in this part of Rajasthan is vigorous again. About 500,000 villagers in this region are now practicing rainwater harvesting. And every day, more and more people are joining the cause. Most of the check dams these volunteers are constructing are small, but they are taking giant steps towards self-sufficiency. Leading this movement is a man the locals here call a modern-day Gandhi. Rajendra Singh shows me the spot where back in the 1980s he mobilized villagers to build their first earthen dam. Singh, or Water Gandhi as he's affectionately known, tells me he likes coming back to the spot because it still inspires him.
This place really motivates me, gives me strength that even a small movement can bring about huge changes. I never thought our efforts could change the face of the earth.
As Water Gandhi takes me on a tour, I begin to realize what he's achieved. The dams his followers have built provide drinking water for sheep and other livestock. People have a place to wash their clothes. As well as constructing dams, Singh and his band of merry men have also been planting trees, tens of thousands of them, to help prevent erosion. Now, fed with this year's rains, these trees and their surroundings are lush. Everywhere I see signs of rejuvenation, growth and life. The majestic peacock, once on the verge of extinction here, now preening itself once more. This dance an elaborate pre-mating ritual to help it find a partner. There's wildlife everywhere, from slithering snakes to mischievous monkeys. Even the Indian tiger has made a return to these parks, as have many people who were once driven from what used to be a dust bowl.
A lot of people who had fled these villages have now started coming back. They had left because of a lack of water. There were no jobs. Now there is agriculture here. We grow 3 crops a year.
Hanuman Meena is just one of this district's farmers who is richer and happier. He shows me his waterlogged fields of sugarcane fed from a nearby dam.
अपने लिए तो जो हमारे लिए हमारा
If Rajendra Singh hadn't come into our lives, he says, we wouldn't be able to do anything. He's like a god for us. So great is the Water Gandhi's appeal in these parts that every section of society, even former bandits like Jagdish Gujjar, are trading their guns for shovels and digging dams with gusto.
पुलिस वाले पीछा करते मारने के लिए.
Earlier the police used to be after me, he says. They wanted to kill me. But now the same policemen take me to their homes to honor me. Hanuman Meena and his fellow farmers proudly perform a centuries-old ritual of thanksgiving and prayer every evening. Women, once burdened with carrying water from miles away, can now join men in soaking up some of life's simpler pleasures. Rajendra Singh's movement has empowered one of India's poorest communities. He's taught people not only to save water, but to use it judiciously. Several rivers that had once dried up are now gushing forth. And the people here have also realized that self-help can be a lot more effective than huge and environmentally disruptive hydroelectric power projects run by a faraway government.
देखिए बड़े बांधों से
Big dams don't benefit the poor. Small dams, though, help the poor. They're seen as a common property resource. The small farmer can build and repair these dams. It's something which he can't do with bigger dams.
Rajendra Singh is now raising awareness about water harvesting throughout India. His goal, to spread his movement across the world. Singh believes water is such a precious commodity, the next world war will be fought over it. So if the world wants peace, he says, everyone, everywhere must join him to save every tiny little drop. Satinder BINDRA, CNN, Gopalpura, Western India.